Welcome to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. This is Raw is Retro on the Sharpshooters Network. And I'm your host, Ross. And with me, as always, is Lord Manny Hayes. I'm going with Lord today because there's still no wheel.
7th week, I think. 7th week.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick a nickname. This week, you're Lord Manny Hayes. We'll find out what it'll be next week. But anyway, we are here to talk about Raw from 1998. We're into late May. We're approaching Over the Edge. King of the Ring's on the horizon, the famous King of the Ring from 98, which everyone's seen at least one match from.
And we'll hopefully be doing a live watch along of that towards the end of June. So keep an eye on that. More updates as we get closer to that.
Yeah. What else was on that show? Because I can't remember anything else off the top of my head. I'm sure there was a title match, wasn't there? It was a first blood match.
It's the Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, that's the Hell in the Cell. But then, that's
the only one I remember.
Kane wins the title for a day, doesn't he? At the end of it.
Was that the weird first blood or the I remember that.
Who won King of the Ring? Ken Shamrock won King of the Ring. Wow. What a year 98 is. Anyway, before we get to that, let's get to this. We start this week's Raw with Vince in the ring with the Stooges, talking about how what's going to happen Over the Edge and how they're going to screw Austin out the title and dude's going to be the champion. But then Austin flips the script from last week and Mr. McMahon gets arrested, which will be a theme throughout this show.
Well, this was quite funny because he mentioned he assaulted Austin last week, which is what led to the Austin having Vince arrested, which was hilarious because Vince played it up really well, resisting arrest and everything. It was incredible.
This is prime Vince hamming it up acting, isn't it? He is absolute on fire tonight. He's so good. When he comes out later on, he's like all covered in beer and sweat, and like he's so angry. That's so good later on. A really good opening, I think. Really hot opening. It went on a little bit too long, I think, probably, but it was pretty good. It ends hot because Austin's so over that anything he does is just ridiculously over at the minute.
Yeah.
Our first match sees LOD 2000 with their new buddy Puke taking on the DOA. What do we make of our first sighting of Darren?
I hate this. I hate all of this. I hate everything about this. I hate it all. Ross, I hate it all.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's awful, isn't it?
We've got more episodes coming up after this. This continues. It's not like this ends. No, this continues. It's the worst thing ever.
This is going to be a long year for the LOD 2000. It's going to... Oh, God. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Puke gets the win with a Batista bomb.
You can't call it a Batista bomb in 98.
No. A power bomb. He does the 3-point stance because that's what every former NFL player has to do. Like he hits that. It's the old Mongo McMichael finishing move.
Even Mojo did it, I believe. Mojo Rawley did it.
God. We had the old blue thing on his face. This is the first sighting of the DOA as a threesome for a long time. I think it's Chains. Chains is back, is he?
Change is always. It's always like main event change.
Yeah. These are lads who got screwed out of their tag team titles last week, and now they're just feuding with LOD and Puke. We cut back. We see Vince is in the back of the police car, isn't he? And Austin's giving him the finger and shouting stuff, and then this is where Patterson gets involved, isn't it?
Yeah, Patterson should have never got involved.
So then they cut to the crowd, and who is that mysterious man? It's Edge. Edge is just in the crowd, just watching, just like a real quick, like as they do, like the old random crowd shots.
You're looking back at this, I completely lost sight. Was this just to also make wake of Sting just being in the crowd?
Quite possibly. Yeah, I never thought about it like that, actually. Yeah.
Because, how long was it? Was Sting was just lurking around in the crowd, Crow Sting?
Ages, wasn't it?
Ages.
Yeah. Well, when do we see Edge, his first match? It's going to be a couple of weeks, I think.
I think he debuts with, I think he debuts at King of the Ring.
Yeah, he must do.
As Sable's partner, I'm guessing.
That's from the pay-per-view that I watched. I sent you a picture of it the other day. What was that? SummerSlam.
You watched Over the Edge. Oh no,
you
also did. Yeah. You also did watch SummerSlam.
I've watched a lot of 98 wrestling this week, but yeah, I watched SummerSlam, and Edge's disabled partner in that as well. So yeah, it's going to be between King of the Ring and SummerSlam, I think, where he becomes like a proper in-ring wrestler. So
yeah,
that's to look forward to. Edge is pretty good, even in his young days. He's still pretty good. He looked good at SummerSlam anyway. We get Edge. Owen Hart taking on Dan Severn.
The man, Dan Severn, the man. This looked like it was going to be good, but
it should be good, shouldn't it? It's too an absolute beast of a man in Dan Severn, who is legitimately a brilliant wrestler and submission.
And then you've got Owen Hart.
Hart.
But then it's all the usual cop-out DQ finish.
Yeah. Like, someone can get over. Things can happen. You don't have to fit every match of a DQ or like a screwy finish. Just let someone get over
and it's build some just heat. Sentiment of just how bad Mark Henry was.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't. He never really like became great. I wouldn't say he was great. No, but like he improved. But like he was awful.
He was absolutely terrible. Yeah, we're gonna enter the sexual chocolate era in '99. Can't wait to get to that.
Yeah, that's coming soon.
Mae Young. Oh, we get the Stone Cold's appearance on Celebrity Deathmatch, which is going to air this Thursday, right after WCW Thunder.
Nice.
All those Thunder fans. I tried to do Thunder for a previous podcast. It is the worst wrestling show I've ever seen.
I can't believe Thunder started already.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because I thought that happened around the same time as SmackDown. But
the WWE were well ahead for their second show. But unlike SmackDown, which had good wrestling on big stars, Thunder was just full of absolute shit every single week with nothing happening. It was so bad. It was like an episode of like Velocity or something. That's basically what Thunder was. Until they were starting to really lose the battle, then they started bringing in like NWO and Sting and Hogan and people like that would appear. But yeah, it wasn't good. We see McMahon again in the back of the police car, like, frothing at the mouth. We get another Edge promo. A lot of Edge this week.
It means he's coming.
Yeah,
like Veer eventually came.
He did. Yeah, Edge is still about a month away, so yeah, it's probably about the same sort of time frame, to be honest. Then, do you want to explain to me what happens next, Manny, with the Jackal?
So we haven't seen him in a long time because he's got rid of the Truth Commission.
Yeah.
He's returned with people from Howard Stern.
Yeah, like if you're American, I'm sure this makes sense, but to me, I had no clue who these two guys were.
1998, and you got someone called Crackhead Bob. He then brings out the oddities, which is, what do you call it? Princess Luna.
Princess Luna, yeah.
Golga.
Yep, who is Earthquake, as we all know.
And Giant Silver.
Yeah.
But no Kurgan at the moment.
Yeah, where's Kurgan? I thought Kurgan was like with the oddities from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I didn't get the whole Howard Stern stuff, and putting them on commentary just seemed like unfair to them. The dwarf man, and I don't know if I'm being dwarfist here, but he looked like the fella from Elf and what's it, Game of Thrones?
Yeah, but they called him Hank the Angry Drunken Dwarf in 1998.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. A sign of the times. You would not get that now. But then we do get our first oddities match. We get Golga, taking on Headbanger Thrasher with Headbanger Mosh. Yeah, I mean, it was an all right match. Earthquake's a good wrestler. For what he is.
I mean, it's Earthquake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a good kind of 6 years away from his prime, I suppose, 92, 93, that sort of era. But he's still a really young man. The Earthquake was always like surprisingly young. Like, I think at this point he's only in his like early 30s.
No, I still remember that sumo match between him and Yokozuna. Never forget it for some reason.
But then we get more McMahon backstage, Austin and the Stooges. This is there's so many clips of this backstage. It almost rivals a DX segment that they show throughout episodes of Raw. Our next match is Jeff Jarrett taking on Vader.
Why?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Like Vader's got nothing to do anymore.
But apparently he's got a mask versus mask match at Over the Edge, which has absolutely no build to it at all. Apart from after this.
It doesn't make any sense.
A week before the pay-per-view, we better do something because these two are going to fight. Kane runs down. He interferes in the match. It ends in a DQ, obviously, because it's a 98 Raw. I'm assuming Vader wins because Kane attacks Vader. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then those two have a fight. Slaughter comes down and yells at them both. And
because Slaughter's really going to yell at a monster.
Yeah,
like two of them, like a mastodon and a big red machine, and they're going to listen to him.
Yeah, stick Slaughter in the middle of them. Brilliant. And this is and then JR does remind us that these two do have a big old match coming up for the next pay-per-view. Yeah. A mask versus mask match with a man where you can see 90% of his face under his mask. Brilliant. We get one more cut backstage to see Mr. McMahon. He's out of the cop car, and he has to apologise if he wants to be free. He does apologise to Austin, but Austin says he won't accept it. He has to come down to the ring later on and do an actual apology, which we will see as we enter the war zone. Michael Cole has been binned off in exchange for Jerry Lawler, commentary with JR. Cole is really bad at this point. There's something the first hour of Raw is really difficult to get through sometimes, just because of the commentary. Because it's either Kevin Kelly, it's either like a 3-man booth with Kelly and Cole and Ross. And that is too much.
I don't mind Michael Cole. I've noticed his tendencies, that he has now, which you hear, but you can hear him in '98. He's like, my!
Yeah. He loves to tell you how big and how much a guy weighs. Like how tall he is and how much he weighs. That's kind of his go-to immediately. Like I noticed it on SummerSlam. He did it every single match. It's like, Cole, you don't need to do this, mate. I don't need to know that The Rock is 1 inch taller than the Triple H. Jesus Christ.
It matters in boxing, Ross.
It does, yeah. We get the McMahon and the Stooges to the ring again. It feels like we're starting Raw all over again. He's been released. But Austin wants to stand guard, doesn't he, during the match? Wants to have someone, stand guard. Austin versus The Undertaker is announced for your main event.
Yeah.
No build to quite a big match, that. It's almost like it's not going to really happen.
Yeah.
You can see how they do this. They announce something at the start of the second hour. It doesn't ever happen.
Can we just cover this whole DX bit in one sitting? Because it was terrible.
It was so bad. I can't believe I ever found this funny or amusing when I was a kid. Because it's just so shit.
They're still going after WCW, and then they decide to become Skywriters. The stupidest thing.
Yeah, everyone's seen it. Everyone's heard it. It's one of the big moments of the Attitude Era. It's really not. It's so terrible.
This is dumb.
Yeah, like I don't
know why it's remembered so highly as well. It's rubbish.
Yeah, it is. All of it has been rubbish so far. My opinion on DX is nothing else has changed really that much, apart from my opinion on DX. Like how much I love them as a kid and how much I hate them as a 30-year-old man, like a 38-year-old man. They're such twats. Like there's no redeeming features. Chyna's the only part that I like because she doesn't enter into this stupidity with them. She just stands there and watches them the entire time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it spanned over about 4 or 5 different bits throughout the second half of Raw.
Terrible.
Yeah, didn't need to see it. It wasn't funny. It was awful. We do get a really good match for about 3.5 minutes between Taka and Dick Togo.
With Yamaguchi-san. Yeah. It's rare. It's rare. Cruiserweight wrestling really just never took off. It really didn't. Like, we haven't seen Too Cool in a long time. They weren't even called Too Cool at this point.
They've gone,
but
yeah.
They've disappeared. They've fallen off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Aguila's gone.
Yeah, getting repackaged. Dinosaur Red somewhere.
Like Takumi Shinoku's just chilling with Bradshaw recently.
My favourite tag team. Yeah, and then you've got Kai and Tai, who aren't kind of full on Kai and Tai yet, but it won't be long. Taka joins them by SummerSlam, so
yeah,
we'll see when he does turn. He surely doesn't turn on Bradshaw, does he? That seems like a foolish mistake. I can't remember. Does he? God, that's a bad move. Bradshaw's a big man at this point. But yeah, it's a decent match. Until Togo gets the win, doesn't he? No, Taka gets the win. It's a Hurricane Rana.
Yeah.
Very good. Some good moves in this. I like the Pele kick that Togo does off to Taka when he's on the top rope. I never realised that Togo and the rest of the Kantai are actually that good. Like, it wasn't something I ever.
They were, but then they never really featured. It just ended up being Funaki and Taka
and Funaki, and the other guys were just around.
Yeah.
We get Slam of the Week, and then we get more DX nonsense, and then our next match is Farook versus Mark Marrow. Farook is a man lost at this point, isn't he? He's still
he's very lost. Yeah, he's still feuding with the Nation.
Yeah,
the Rock now seems like he's still got unfinished business with DX. It's all over the place.
Yeah, Rock's moved on, but Farouk won't let him move on. He's still kind of hanging around. He wins this match with a clothesline, which shows kind of where Mark Marrow is. But Mark Marrow has his contract, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What does his contract say?
That he owns Sable. So basically, if Sable defeats Mark Marrow at Over the Edge, she will have her freedom. If not, she will remain enslaved to Mark Marrow.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, it's a very awkward angle looking back at it. It doesn't kind of... Sable's awful, though. She really is terrible.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I can understand why she was so popular. I can understand why Vince likes her. But Sonny was so much of a better worker than Sable was.
I think he made a better pick at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, look at the mess one of them's in right now, and everyone's at home with her superstar husband living quite an easy life. Yeah. What the fuck was this Pat Patterson thing? What was this for?
Well, we got Jared Briscoe last week or the week before.
True. Yes, we did.
So it's only fair that
for the body shot.
Yeah, we pay tribute to the first Intercontinental Champion.
So weird. Well, there was like a bit of subliminal messaging throughout it where he's helping Vince get on his referee shirt as well. I don't know if that was supposed to be in there or if they just cut to the wrong bit, but yeah, we get that, which lasts a little bit, and then we get more DX stuff. Brilliant. And then The Rock takes on Triple H.
But first, he gives us his thoughts on Viagra.
Yeah, he doesn't need it, so he can't comment. What? Cheers, Rock. Brilliant. Really, really helpful. I feel like he's fishing for stuff only at the minute, Rock. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. It's hard to kind of tell where he's going at the minute. He says, Farouk's got no chance of beating him for the IC title Over the Edge, which hopefully
this actually wasn't even a bad match. Yeah,
it wasn't. What, about 8 odd minutes?
Yeah. It wasn't a bad match. It ended in a DQ. No, double count out.
Double count out, yeah. Which is, it's a new one. It wasn't a DQ finish.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the start of their singles rivalry rather than the Nation and the DX. It becomes more about the two of them, which, where these two would be in 2-3 years' time, when Austin's gone as the two biggest wrestlers in the company, it's quite nice to see them here as they're kind of on the way up.
Yeah, and then Farouk attacks The Rock at the end on the ramp and gives him a pile driver on the ramp.
Pile driver, pretty mean as well.
Yeah,
The Rock is a very kind of underrated seller, I think, because he's an overrated.
He overrates. He's selling is ridiculous.
He's an overseller. I don't know. I like his seller of the seller of the
He so at times is like a fish out of water sometimes. The way he sells.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Our final match of the evening is, of course, Austin taking on the Undertaker. Vince is the special guest referee. Doesn't happen, does it? What happens instead, Manny?
I don't think the match actually happened. Before even Austin appears, he chokeslams Vince.
Yeah.
And then about to go for a tombstone, and then Kane and Paul Bearer come down.
I'm so confused as to why is Kane's feuding with Vader, apparently, and yet still feuding with the Undertaker. Vince is feuding with Austin and the Undertaker.
Yeah, so you need like strings to tie who's fighting who.
I've got a nice blank wall there. I might get a wall chart and put some red strings like going all over the place. Who's feuding with who? So yeah, that happens. And then Kane and the Undertaker disappear, and Austin comes down, doesn't he? And he beats up the Stooges as he does. Yeah. And
Dude Love comes out with a chair.
And then Dude Love comes out, and gets absolutely walloped with his own chair.
Oh, that was disgusting.
It sounded like a gunshot. It was so loud. Foley is an absolute loon, which we're all going to see. I mean, in a couple of months' time, the lengths he'll go to get himself over.
Yeah.
And I don't think when I was younger, I didn't appreciate Mick Foley to the amount that I do now.
I mean, I've said my piece on Mick Foley.
Yeah.
I think he's just a stuntman. He wasn't really a wrestler.
He's
just a great talker.
He's a good talker and really good at getting people over, basically.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Like, he did it for Randy, he did it for Triple H, he did it for Edge. I mean, Austin was over. Austin didn't need him to help him get over. But
the whole thing about Mick Foley was the story. He told a great story. And it's not necessarily like a great story in the ring. He got you to the match. And the match never really was a great one.
No. Unless it was that hardcore brawl. That's kind of what that's.
Yeah, but we remember him. I only remember him for like some promos and then falling off cages.
Yeah. Or getting chokeslammed through cages, or landing arcade on thumbtacks, or going through a burning table. He's always on the other end of someone else's victory, or making someone else look good. But yeah, fair play to him. Overall then, episode of Raw, a bit hit and miss.
It was kind of just there.
Some good wrestling mixed in with some other DX shite.
Yeah, it was a DX nonsense. It was a DX sandwich of nonsense.
Yeah. And then, mixed in with Vince and Austin having their stuff. And yeah, kind of an up and down episode of Raw. Who would be your MVP for this week?
It's hard to pick. I'm going to go with Vince.
Yeah. His
overacting, his ridiculousness of everything. Yeah, Vince.
Yeah, I think Vince as well for me, because he was so much fun. He just looks like he's having fun with it as well, that's when you know it's good.
Yeah,
like people are still up to it. Match of the night. There's only one, really, isn't there?
Yeah, it's The Rock and Triple H for me.
Yeah, I mean Tucker is a close second, I think, but yeah, The Rock and Triple H was really good, like a proper, really good match. Even with the China interference. Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to, because I haven't actually watched Over the Edge, do you want to run down what happened on Over the Edge really quickly?
Yeah. I don't know why I put this on, by the way. It was my day off last week and I was so bored.
You could have done anything on your day off.
I know.
You chose to watch Over the Edge.
It finished and I thought, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. I've got like an hour if I can pick my daughter up. What have I done with my life?
You've wasted. This must have been 3 hours. You wasted 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a good 2 hours plus. Yeah.
You could have watched. You could have played a game. You could have finished something. No, you chose to watch Jeff Jarrett versus Steve Blackman.
Yeah, I don't know why. 10 minutes as well. That match went. It was a long old match. We had LOD 2000 take it on the DOA. Just a straight tag team, not 3-on-3. Puke was on the outside and Change was on the outside. It was awful. I'm going to give it a star rating, not even a star. It was bloody shite. It's exactly what you'd imagine it would be. What do we get next? Yeah, we get Jarrett and Blackman. I mean, I'm warming to Jeff Jarrett in this era.
Because I'm waiting for Silver trunk.
Slapnuts.
Yeah, slapnuts, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, I am warming to him. He's a decent wrestler. He can go in the ring. I always used to hate his character so much that I didn't want to see him wrestle at all. But he is a very good, technically sound wrestler.
Yeah.
And as JR keeps telling me, he's been a pro for 12 years and he's only 30 years old. So great. I care about that. Yeah, that was fine. Jarrett wins. We had Sable versus Mark Marrow, which
happened.
Yeah, it happened. With handicap match, Taka and Bradshaw took on Kai and Tai. I don't even remember what happened in this one, to be honest. I must have fell asleep. I had a little nap during that. I don't remember the outcome at all. No, I can't remember at all. No, we got Rock versus Farook for the RC title. Hopefully at the end of their feud. Yeah, Rock wins. 5 minutes. Mask versus Mask. Vader versus Kane. I mean, obviously Kane wins. Obviously.
This sounds so bad. I can't believe you wasted part of your day off for this.
Yeah. Your semi-main event, Owen Hart, Karma, and D'Lo taking on the New Age Outlaws and Triple H. 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The Nation won. Owen Hart hit a pedigree on Triple H and won the match with it, which is, it's great. Good to see how we can get a little bit of comeuppance on Triple H, but I don't care. I really don't care. And then, the main event, it just went on and on. It was just an absolute nonsense-filled main event with so much interference that it is a prime Attitude Era pay-per-view main event. It's it encompasses everything the Attitude Era is in the main event. It's such a nonsense match that goes on forever, and Austin wins. That. That's everything you need to know.
That was everything about the Attitude Era, wasn't it?
Yeah. So much nonsense, Austin wins. Yeah, terrible, terrible pay-per-view. But I've watched it, and there we go. I'm going to watch all the pay-per-views in this year. Whether I like it or not, I'm going to watch them all.
So the next one coming up is King of the Ring. As we said at the top of the show, stay tuned for that further updates about that. It's just a scheduling thing where we're trying to schedule everyone. So we can try and get either the Bigot or Marcus the Grand Finale onto the show. So we'll let you know closer to the date.
Yeah. If you want to catch the Bigot, you can see him on the Saturday show with Manny and Marcus. If you want to catch Marcus and
we're talking about Manny. Eric, if you don't know.
He knows. That's all we need. He knows. You can catch Manny and Marcus on a Tuesday for the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Is it Manny and Marcus? Marcus and Manny?
The Untitled Manny and Marcus show with... and then on Wednesday, Marcus and Jamal with ETE. And then obviously you got us two on Fridays.
Yeah.
With your Raw is Retro.
Yeah, there's so much content. So you can subscribe at The Sharpshooters on YouTube, which is where you're watching this right now. If you're not subscribed while you're watching it, just click that button. We're not going to flood you with content. One video a day. You can watch if you want. If you don't want to watch, fine. Just subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter at Sharpies Network, where I will endeavour to try and tweet out the shows more often, but I'm normally at work or put on child's bed when they go out, so I find it quite tricky to tweet them out, but we need to find a way to automate that, and we'll do that. You can email the show at thesharpshooters@gmail.com. Send us your emails. Let us know what you were doing in 1998. How old were you? Were you watching these episodes of Raw, or were you a WCW kid? I didn't know any WCW fans when I was a kid.
I knew a WCW kid.
Did you?
Yeah, he loved Goldberg. So when we were playing rugby, he would spear people rather than tackle people. And he was a big guy as well. Big guy. Slow. But if he got you, it fucking hurt.
Yeah, I can imagine. I hated rugby at school. Why would you?
I liked it because you could actually hit someone.
No, I was all about the basketball or the cricket. Keep me away from hitting other people.
No, I like cricket up to year 9 when people started getting speed.
Yeah.
And that ball is not fun when it hits you.
It becomes dangerous. I broke both of my thumbs playing cricket once, which is why I can now do this with them. Weird. That's a little aside that you didn't need to know. But anyway, we will be back next week with another episode of Raw is Retro when we look at the Raw after the big pay-per-view where literally nothing changed over the edge. But we do start our King of the Ring qualifying. The brackets are set up and we're on the road to King of the Ring. So,
yep.
I mean, that's exciting at least. But yes, so do all the stuff. Like, subscribe, share, tweet, email us, everything. And we will be back next week. Bye!